It's fantasy football draft season, and today we're going to talk about some sucky players. We're going to talk about some good players to help you make your decisions for your drafts coming up. Some of these guys are going to be on the waiver wire, and you may want to think about them. But before you dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're talking about these players every day. We're doing deep dives. We're doing player rankings. We're helping you set your lineups and find gems off the waiver wire. Click that button. Stop missing out. It's all free. Ric Flair's watching right here. You do not want to disappoint Ric Flair, so do it. But Ollie Gordon's in the good. He's in the good. He's a waiver wire dandy or a late round pick for you. If you're choosing one lottery ticket, he could be it. It could be another running back. We have like 20 of them. You're just going to have to pick your poison and wait for attrition, a la injuries. But still, this is another running back that once his moment happens has a good probability of doing something. Especially with the Dolphins here, historically their RB2 has been a volatile fantasy football option. Devin Achen's there. He's going to be the guy. We're not expecting him to usurp him, but he's looking good in preseason. Big time prospect at college. Won the Doak Walker, was very productive. This is a guy that we've been paying attention to throughout the offseason, draft season, training camp. This is a running back prospect that could go nuclear if something happens to Achan, but Jalen Wright's not. He's just not. And he's still getting drafted in some leagues, but you guys got to stop it. You guys got to stop it. It's around the 15-round range, 16, 17, 18-round range where he's flying off the board, because on the depth chart right now, he looks like the RB2. You watch preseason, he ain't going to be there for long. He ain't going to be there for long. He's got good speed. He's a shotgun running back. All he needs is one touch. He could go off on you, but the vision ain't there. The patience ain't there. He is a work in progress, and work in progress in the NFL means not for long in the league, and you're looking at Ollie Gordon, who racked up a lot more in college than he did, and Ollie Gordon is a guy that's going to climb this depth chart because it's trending that way. And Jalen Wright, you guys just got to stop. You guys got to stop. You guys just got to stop it. You just got to stop it right now. Ricky Pearsall, he's got the wide receiver room to himself. Jennings out. Robinson out 3 games. Brandon Ayuk out for a long time. They brought in Sky Moore. That's how bad it is. They brought in Sky Moore. He's twitched up. He's a first-round pick. He's going into year 2. He's a year 2 player. We like looking at year 2 players for them to break out. We got a good schedule coming up. That's something to look at here for Ricky Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall is a player that could go off this year. And he got shot last year. He had a weird rookie season. Had a little bit of injuries during training camp last year. Had a little bit this year. I think that's the universe trying to scare the lukewarm away from Ricky Pearsall. That being said, he's also going to range of drafts where you're good at wide receiver and running back before you get to him. And there's not many lottery ticket dart throws at wide receiver. And he's in a spot where he could be the wide receiver 1, maybe second line targets behind Kittle. Maybe, depending on how this offense works this year. Purdy's going to do what Purdy's going to do. But it could be really Purdy with Ricky Pearsall. But Joe Mixon ain't. He just ain't. And you guys just got to stop drafting him. We don't know when he's going to come back. And when he comes back, he might be sharing the backfield with Nick Chubb. Because why not at this point? Woody Marks has been looking good. This could turn into a committee when he comes back. I don't think it's ever going to be the same maybe with this team, because now you got 2 good veteran running backs. Nick Chubb's not Nick Chubb, but he's looking okay right now in training camp, OTAs, preseason, everything else. He's been looking okay through everything we've seen throughout the offseason. And then Joe Mixon, we do not know when he's come back. He's falling in ADP, which is fine. But he's also falling in ADP where you can pick up some good dart throws, where you got some good things around you on the waiver wire. He might get you a run of 3 to 4 good games. Kind of like last year, but maybe a little bit less since we're already starting this season off hurt. Maybe that. Maybe you get lucky, you catch that. But is it going to be worth it for you? Is that going to be enough to win your season? TreVeyon Henderson is a riser, and you're looking at these top rookie running backs outside of Marin Hampton and Ashton Genty. You're looking at him, Harvey, Caleb Johnson, picking your poison here in the middle rounds. Your poison, what you want to do. But also, you're looking at this, and you're like, do I go rookie or do I go with the veteran RB2? Do I go for that upside that could be a top 10 running back end of the season, or I do the RB2 and be consistent throughout the whole year and not have to think about a rookie ramp up? That's what you're thinking about here with TreVeyon Henderson. But when we look at these big-time rookie running backs, usually in those double-digit weeks, weeks 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, they start becoming an RB1. Usually somewhere down the line. What could impact that? Injuries, dumb stuff with the team. It's hard to have dumb stuff with the team if all you got really there is Ramondre Stevenson, and he was in and out of the lineup last year. He's been cooking in training camp and preseason. He's going to be using the passing game. Now I'm talking about Hendo if you didn't know that. But Hendo's got a lot of upside. He's also going to range where if you go with your hero RB, you rack up wide receivers, you're looking for an upside running back, you could get him. And then the round or two later, you can still get you your RB2. So you can kind of have your cake and eat it too. But you got to understand the player pools. You got to understand your drafts. Also, some drafts, he will fall later than what you're seeing on Underdog ADP. And then other drafts, he'll go up into the third round. Because I've been studying draft boards from Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And I've been looking at those. So when I see a player, I can reference what I've seen because it'll come back in the back of my dome and it'll come out through here. And I've seen him go 6th round, 3rd round. And that's something you got to be prepared for if you like him. And also, if he does go that high, someone else is going to fall. That being said, that is what I've seen, and that is what I'm going to relay. But you got T. Higgins. I don't mind T. Higgins. I don't mind T. Higgins at all. I think the price is high, though. I think in home league drafts, if he falls a little bit past his point of a couple rounds, you catch him a little bit cheaper. I think that's fine. I think the price is high. I don't mind T. Higgins. I think he can give you a lot of good weeks this year. I think he'd be a good fantasy football asset. I think he'd be solid. I think he can get you 5 to 6 wide receiver 1 weeks, 4 to 3 wide receiver 2 weeks, and then the wide receiver 3 weeks will probably be pretty bad, like 10 or less. Like, they're not going to be borderline wide receiver 2 games that consistent with Jamar Chase soaking up workload. But there are going to be some games where he gets it done because he gets the ADOT. His ADOT's around double digits. Last year it was. But again, healthy for a full season, that will be past 10 because historically that's where it trends. Target share, 20 or above. Last year, 25% range. Probably going to be like that. Boyd's not there anymore. They don't have anything else trustable in the passing game that they really love there. They showed that last year. Yoshi's not going to command a lot of targets. Now you're looking at T. Higgins here. Deep balls, targets. He's going to be targeted like a softer offense's wide receiver 1. That being said, when you look at him, you think, oh, he's just a wide receiver 2. Why is he so high? That's kind of why. But he's also jacked up there on the board. If he's a little bit cheaper, fine. If he goes early off the board, that's fine. Because you can get George Pickens, who's going to give you similar results. Maybe a little bit more volatile. Or a couple rounds cheaper. That's what I like about George Pickens. When you look at the two, he's going to push around a 25% target share. His ADOT's going to be in the double digits, maybe even higher than T. Higgins. And it's going to be him and Lamb. Similar situation. This team's going to have to throw the ball a lot. Look at what they got at running back. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. Look at their offensive line. It's already banged up. They're going to have to throw the ball. They're going to be in some dogfights this year. Good year to look at Dak Prescott. You got Lamb and Pickens. And Pickens is a monster downfield. He's making catch after catch after catch like he always does. And he's a little bit cheaper. A little bit. And you're going to get something similar. I'm not going to say he's going to do better. I'm going to say he's going to give you something similar. And he does have the potential to do better. But I see 3 to 5-ish. Maybe more, wide receiver 1 weeks, 3 to 4 wide receiver 2 weeks, and then the bad games are going to be really bad games. I see some volatility, and volatility means upside and a lot of downside too. And I definitely see that. He's sharing the offense with CeeDee Lamb, who's going to be the wide receiver 1. Targets are going to be concentrated to him. Also, Ferg's going to get some. I'm not going to leave him out, but they're going to throw it a little bit more. He's going to get around what he got last year at Pittsburgh, but the targets are going to be better. He's going to get around 7 targets a game. He's going to get somewhere around there, with some games around 5-ish, 4-ish, and some games around 10-ish. He's going to get a few 10 spots, and he's going to be roughly around that 6, 7, 8 range on most games, like you see down there. Because you think about it, CeeDee Lamb's going to get around 10-ish, 8, 9, 10. He's going to be around 6, 7, 8 in those games with the splash moments, but it's the deep balls. When he captures those deep balls, that's when he's going to have a splash performance. And if he connects on 2 of those, and one of those being a touchdown, that's a wide receiver 1 week. He's going to have 3 to 5 of those on the season. And then the other games where he's wide receiver 2, those are games where he's going to get like 7 to 8 targets, brings in 3/4 of those, decent yards downfield because he's averaging over 10 yards per target easy on all his attempts. And that's going to rack up decent production. But B-Rob's on the block. B-Rob is on the block. And with B-Rob being on the block, why are you going to chase him? Jacory Croskey-Merritt, Austin Eckler, Rodriguez. There's a lot of mouths to feed in this backfield. And we got B-Rob here looking at us. And we're looking at B-Rob. Something's got to give. And on top of that, you just look at the numbers and the efficiency metrics here. It does not match 11.7 points per game, which isn't exciting, isn't enough to win your weeks. He only had like 2 to 3 games last year where he's really helping you. When you're scoring 13.1 to 10.7, 11.7, that's only a few points more than some random team's RB2 if you really think about it. And he's ranking in the 30s and 40s in most efficiency metrics. He's not running a lot of routes, less than 10 a game. What's the point? Even if he is the RB1, what's the point? Like, how is this going to win your league? If you're in a 10-man league and you're looking at a B-Rob here, you need to realize that your running backs need to score within the top 10, not the top 12. That being said, when your efficiency metrics suck like this, you're rarely an RB1. You are getting volume, you are getting touches, but you're not efficient. You're not catching balls out of the backfield. The odds of you consistently scoring in the top 10 isn't going to happen. So even though some of the scoring week to week is kind of nice, the upside's really not there to help you win the league. So gamesmanship for those 8-man leagues, 10-man leagues, it's really going to kill you. It's going to shoot you in the foot. So once you get in this range of the draft, you have to think about that. Like, how many times is this guy going to score in the top 10 of his position? And is he worth it right now? Or if he's not, then I have to look at the upside players in this range, those rookies, those year 2 guys. Because even though B-Rob's going to outscore those guys more often than not, he's also not doing enough to help you. Because he's not doing much more for you in your lineup than a random team's RB2. Because if they scored 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's scoring 11.7, 13.1, 10.7, you're looking at that. And with the 8.6s, 6.1s, 8.9s you're seeing, that ain't much more. That ain't much better. It feels good on the good weeks. You're only getting like 3 of them. You got a 14.2 and 14.6 if you want to throw those in. That's still not good enough in a 10-man league, 8-man league, if you're looking at that. But now you're looking at Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Upside for days. He's been cooking. Rookie camp, OTAs, minicamp, training camp, preseason. He's been going wire to wire. He wasn't eligible to play last year, so you do not have that extra tape. If you had that extra tape with what he did in the Shrine game, you would have saw a running back climb up the board even more. If this was last year's draft class, throwing that in, it was a weaker running back class, which is actually closer to the norm, maybe a little bit lighter. It's less than average. He would have been drafted a little bit higher, maybe like a 5th rounder. He would have been more on your radar earlier in the season. He's on everybody's radar right now. And I see haters in the comments because they look at Austin Eckler, they look at Rodriguez, and there's a chance it could be a split backfield, but he's gaining so much steam. He's looking good on tape. His feet's good. His contact balance is good. He's still cheap, or at least was cheap. Really depends on your draft. But this looks like the Alfred Morris situation. On top of that, if you got to pick one dart throw, I want the rookie who's trending up. Because if it's not trending week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then I can flip for the rookie that is trending up during that time period. But a cold rookie isn't going to get hot till they start getting warm. And now you're looking at Jaden Reed. He's in a boot right now. It's going to be a slow start. Now, if you're catching him in this range of draft still, then I do not want him. But if I catch him at a good discount, that's going to be a good add. Because he is going to rack up a good target share. But if he's not priced down, if he's in that Khalil Shakur, Matthew Golden, Ricky Pearsall range, because he does not have the upside and does not have the week-to-week capabilities to win you weeks on consistent basis. That being said, 10-man league, 8-man league, traditional 12-man league, he's going to give you problems. Plus, there's veteran running backs in this area. Plus, maybe some upside running backs that you may want to lean on as RB2s, some roster fodder, just in case your starting running backs go down to give you more depth. But if he goes cheaper than this, he falls past Brandon Ayuk and Mika Buka, Michael Pittman range. He falls into the double digits. I'm fine with that. But he's priced up on underdog. Really depends on what you want here. But if you really want somebody from the Packers, Matthew Golden, from what I'm hearing from beat writers, looks like he's going to be their wide receiver 1. He's been cooking. He's been creating separation. Hands have been sticky. He's a round 1 pick. 4.29 speed, and he's a guy that is trending up. He's trending up in practice. I would not be surprised if he gets some looks early in the season, and everybody looks at him as, oh, that's the guy that emerges. That's it. Nobody's talking about him that much. I would not be surprised if that's it. Another thing that works in his favor, Love does not care who you are. He does not lock into a player, and you can tell by looking at the target shares, the target distribution from game to game to game. It's spread out. I call it the carousel effect, and this is a team that created it because any given Sunday, any player can get it. And that being said, with the first-round draft capital, with what we're seeing in camp, with how he plays the game and the separation, you can use him in the short game. You can throw the deep balls to him. I think he's going to rack up some targets. And I think they're looking for that deep threat because they've been missing it with Christian Watson out all the time. But now you're looking at Matthew Golden here, who's going to be getting targeted on a consistent basis. And he's going to be out there on the field. He's going to start off racking up an okay target share. Then eventually it could be blast off. Not many people talking that up. But what I see from beat writers or fans even that are content creators talking about him, they're saying he's stepping up, he's looking good. Not perfect, but the lack of being perfect out there, like some of those drops, is also keeping the price down to where he's palatable, where you're seeing some of the other trending wide receivers that are younger going up higher, being drafted ahead of him. I do not want Jauan Jennings. I know some people talk him up because they look at the baseline target share at 26.3% and 7.5 targets, and they think, hey, that could transfer here to 2025. Brandon Ayuk's hurt. But honestly, he got those targets and did nothing with it last year. He got you a 46-point game, a 25 and a 28-point game, and the rest of it is piss. The rest of his season was piss, and he's hurt right now. This is a wide receiver that wants to be usurped by Ricky Pearsall. This is a wide receiver that wants George Kittle to take the targets. He got the targets and just pissed it away. So why am I going to chase piss here in the middle rounds? Why am I going to do that? He might get you a splash game off the waiver wire. That's what he's worth, getting off the waiver wire and chasing a splash game. He's not worth chasing good draft capital with and pissing your draft away when you got good running backs and good upside plays around him. He pissed it away. That was his opportunity. Why should we pay you if you're pissing away your targets, if you're not efficient with that? Average target distance, 9.9. Air yards, 27.6% share. We're getting good work rate metrics. But again, we're not being productive with it. 7.5 targets, 26.3% target share. I would expect more from these numbers. I would expect more because there's a lot of down games there. 14 points per game, you look at that. If you're a point per game zealot and you cannot zoom in and look at what a player's doing game to game, points per game will burn you. It will burn you if you're not looking at everything. Jennings pissed it away. Don't piss away your teams. These are the players we're looking at today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.